everybody. So today's class is about alternatives that you can use if you feel that there's 7 times that you can't do full mountain, you can't do camel, you can't do a one-legged pigeon. These are alternatives that are gentler, possibly easier for you to do, and you'll still be working the same areas of the body. So I want you to just make yourself very comfortable. Let the weight drop into the feet and the legs be relaxed. Use your core control and pelvic floor throughout, but make sure that when you do use that, you do not tighten your bottom muscles. Take a few slow deep breaths. Feel the energy of the breath flowing through the body. Very important to connect with the breath. It will tell you as a person a great deal about what's going on inside. If you can, make the breath as full and as deep as possible. So we're going to begin with Tadasana, which is mountain pose. Right then. The simplest way of doing Tadasana is to keep the feet flat on the floor. So if you've had an injury in the foot or the ankle or leg, rising up in a full mountain isn't going to work for you. But this way you will still receive the benefits. Feet are hip distance apart. Weight into the feet. Legs relaxed. Core control and pelvic floor. Bottom relaxed. Shoulders soft and down. Arms heavy. Right through to the fingertips. That feeling of the fingertips is so important. Chin nodded under. Jaw relaxed. You can close the eyes. And I want you to just imagine that the spine is lengthening and the crown of the head is going to touch the ceiling above you. So you can still feel the awakening of the body, the lengthening of the spine and the torso and the legs without that strain into the foot and ankle. If you can't do that, quite often mountain is a nice way of grounding yourself and really just connecting with how the body's feeling and the breath. If you wanted to, you could encourage the stretch even more and raise the arms all the way up to the crown of the head. So you're lengthening the waistline. breath, not come up onto the tiptoes. I'm going to now show you an alternative version of triangle. Quite often people get frustrated that they can't get the hand to the floor and it's not a full triangle. Getting the hand to the floor isn't what I'm looking for as a teacher. What I'm looking for is the alignment through the body, so ankle bone to hip, hip to shoulder. And that is what's most important. That is what will give you the stretch through the body, realign the body. And in time, you will be able to get to the floor with straight leg and everything that you need to do. But it's being patient that counts. And in the centre of my mat, I'm going to step my feet apart. Wide stance, but the feeling is that the weight is even into both feet. That way you're not going to waddle all over. I'm going to keep my left leg and foot pointing forwards. Core control and pelvic floor. I'm turning my right leg out at the hip, and my heel is in line with the heel. And then relax the legs. Okay. I'm going to take the arms out and hinge over that right leg and hand to the leg and raise the back arm. You could stay here, which is beautiful. You can tell that you're in alignment in this space. But sometimes even this is very difficult. So you can put the hand on the hip and you can have a bend in the knee. And when you bend the knee, what you're going to find is you cut off the hamstring and it enables you to slide the hand down the leg without paining the adductor and the groin. So it's up to you if you bring the arm into it or not. Up to you if you don't go so deep and with a straighter leg, or you bend the knee and go deeper. But all the while, you should be thinking about the weight in the feet, your pelvic floor, and that as you exhale, you're relaxing into the stretch. You're not tensing up in any way to go deeper. Some people grit their teeth and force themselves into it, pull up the muscles above the kneecaps and go down deeper. You're going to cause a great deal of problem in the body if you continue to do that. It is about just letting go with the exhale breath. And a deep breath in, come back to centre, and exactly the same on the other side. So this time, right leg and foot pointing forwards and turning the left leg out at the hip, checking the heel is in line with the heel, core control and arms out. Hinging over the left leg, hand to the leg, raising the back arm. And again, you can stay here, concentrate on the breath, or hand on the hip, a bend in the knee if you wish. And if you want to go deeper, just exhale and slide the hand down the leg. But you will notice I'm looking forwards and the chest is open, the hips are square. Very important. You don't want to be doing this and getting down to the floor, because you can see my body's now facing the floor. The breath will become shallow and you're not getting the stretch you need in the body. Yoga is about opening the body, which leads to the opening of the mind and the soul. Next, keep going on with your tummy. the next two poses. And the first one we're doing is called Lotus prep. Now this is an alternative to a one-legged pigeon, so I'm going to quickly show you a one-legged pigeon. Hands further away from the shoulders, knees under hips, left knee to left wrist, and slide the right leg down. Okay. And you can walk forwards and really rest into the pose. So this releases the hip flexor on the right leg, the glute, maybe the IT band, the groin, the adductor on the front leg. Okay. Not everybody can do it. So, Lotus prep is a good alternative. You go to the lower back. Both knees bent. Right ankle on the left thigh, near the knee, but not on the kneecap. Arms relaxed and by the sides of the body. Now when you've got really tight hamstrings, that's the thing that stops you getting into one-legged pigeon nicely. You can't lift the foot off the floor. But with time, it will lift. You could take hold of the left leg and manually draw the leg in. Now, as you can see, my bottom and my sacrum is on the floor, and you want them to be on the floor. Do not lift the bottom off because it will take the stretch away from the hamstring and anywhere else you're feeling it. Some people like to straighten the leg. It makes no difference if you straighten the left leg or not. Okay, maybe it looks a bit fancier. You can hold nice anywhere, I'd say from 30 seconds to 3 minutes. Go with how it feels, and there's nothing wrong with easing off the pose and then going back into it. But don't bounce like that. Okay. Then come out of the pose, give the legs a jiggle, and exactly the same on the other side. So, left ankle on the right thigh, lifting the right foot off the floor if you can. If you want to make it harder, take hold of the right leg and draw the leg in. Up to you if you straighten the right leg. Yes, you're not going to get the hip flexor stretch in the opposite leg, but if you think about it, this is the leg position of that front leg when you go into a one-legged pigeon. It's a good alternative. And once more, when you're finished, knees to the floor, give the legs and pelvis a shake. And take a moment. Okay. So our next alternative is an alternative to camel. Now, I find, as I've taught over the years, that people find camel frightening, and I can totally understand that because you're going backwards and you're letting the body open up as you go backwards, and you've also got to keep breathing, and it can just create lots of stress and tension and fear. And that's not a good place to be in camel. I'm going to quickly show you camel, and then I'm going to show you the alternative, which is bridging. Okay. So when I'm in camel, this is full camel. There are alternatives to it, which I have put in another video. So And now tuck knees and feet at hip distance apart, weight down in the knees, pelvic floor and core control, hips are square. When I'm ready, arms out, and I'm leaning backwards, reaching for the heels at the same time, arms spiral out, and I let the head go. Beautiful heart opener, thigh and hip flexor stretch, and it releases the spinal column as well. Okay, but it's not everybody's cup of tea. So, bridging is an alternative. You're going to lay on your mat. Both knees bent, knees and feet hip distance apart. Arms just by the sides of the body. Okay. Now, when it comes to bridging, you don't want your feet too far away from the bottom, but you also don't want them too close. Luckily for me, my shins are the same length as my thighs, so no matter what position, I'm always okay. What you need to have is that the shins directly under the knees, then the shin bones drop into the ankles, and you've got that weight in the feet. And it's the weight in the feet that's going to strike you up, so push down on the feet, pelvis rises. Do not use your bottom muscles. You will end up with terrible lower back problems and sciatica. Weight into the tops of the shoulders, and there is your bridge. Jaw relaxed, breaths in and out through the nose, and you could take the arms over to encourage that stretch if you wanted to. So you can see it's the same shape as a camel, upside down. And when you're ready to come out of it, if you've taken the arms over, bring the arms down first, and then use an exhale of breath. And you're going to come down a vertebrae at a time. So you are pushing the spine into the floor, but then the sacrum rests down, and the bottom relaxes, and your spine will go into its natural curvature. Let that happen. You can draw the knees in towards the tummy and roll the lower back into the mat if you wish. Or you might prefer to take the legs out long and just give the legs a bit of a jiggle. Take a few slow, deep breaths. And then when you are ready, bend the knees. Roll over to the side and come up to sitting. It's always good to have alternatives because the body doesn't always want it to do what you want it to do or expect it to do. So I hope you've really enjoyed that class and you get something out of it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.